Okay. It's just I literally just got here.
Mechanics. How did you find mechanics on the mountain?
So the mountain is a property of my grandparents, and they have probably around 20 staff working for them at any time up there.
Hello.
Hey, Hernan, what's up?
Hernan! What's up,
How's
buddy?
it going? What's up?
We're just hearing from
Happy to
Mati
see you
was stuck
guys.
on a mountain. So we're very happy that he could join us.
Oh yes, yes. No, I was in a mountain and I got my foot broken, so I can't go outside very much right now.
What would
Looking
you
for a
guys
power
on the
source
mountain?
to plug in the laptop.
Let me just.
My cousin decided to get married. Like literally, we were supposed to leave on Motzei Shabbat. And he's
Right.
like, "Hey, everybody, I'm getting married tomorrow."
Wow.
Okay. Another
He
day on the
made that
mountain.
just to make you stay longer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, it was okay because it was geschmack.
So when's the wedding?
That was it. That was the wedding. Wedding was yesterday.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
it's just like we knew we had an engagement party for him earlier the week, and then he's like, "Well, you know what? Let's just do it.
Mazel tov.
Why wait?" Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Good.
insane.
Mazel tov.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
very
very
well.
much. Well, I'm hoping that my battery will last for the entire hour because
You're not plugged in?
I'm not plugged in. I don't know. There's usually an extension cord, but I don't see it at the moment.
I'm just getting the show going and getting it.
Dude, how do we post like the stuff? I made a post back then about the kind of a recompilation of large mistakes, and yeah, I wanted to see if
I think the message here is I was thinking about a mistake of mine yesterday, and we'll get into it. And it's not of mine; it's just mistakes that I've been involved with. And I was thinking about the Omer Adam NFT because someone retweeted Omer Adam just invested in the Israeli stock market. So people were like, "Oh, he's obviously like." I'm not taking any advice from him. Look, he like put, and they retweeted a picture of him. His bought ape that he bought at the peak. And I was there. That was a Textono venture that they were doing with Omer Adam. And I remember like the debate, like they were debating like what traits of the ape, and it was just mania. It was just crazy. Jimmy Fallon has this ape, but Paris Hilton has this ape, but Neymar has a bubble gum. So I'm gonna go with the bubble gum. So he like branded in the Neymar ape, and it just like all those guys, whoever got in on that 2020 May 22 NFT, they down 95%. So it was just like thinking about that. But the moral of the story, I learned a lot of lessons from that on, creator NFTs and never buy into a bubble, like never like get into something like that. I think the number one message is like people, you're always chasing the FOMO, chasing the bubble, like the hot thing without any first principle thinking. So hopefully we'll cover that today. Anton's supposed to be joining us. And we also have.
Do we have any live viewers yet, or are we totally?
We have. Let's get that. We have some live viewers. We have some live viewers on X and on YouTube, but no one.
I made a thread back then about my.
Where's the tweet? So did you tweet it out? Let's retweet this sucker.
Yeah.
10 viewers, 10 bots. Good. Thank you for coming, bots. We have 10 bots. 10 bot viewers. 17 bot viewers. I just refreshed. All right. Any human viewers? Humans, are you awake? Are you awake? No humans. Okay. 3 panelists, 0 humans. Here we go.
The only way up from here.
Only one way to go from here. Well, catch me up, guys, because I've been on the mountain and slow internet. I mean, I had a few meetings for Cora, a few meetings for Quantum Expeditions. We launched a new website for quantum economics. I don't know if you saw it yet. So it's QE.finance. I'm really proud of it. Actually, been working on it for about 3 years behind the scenes. Our developer is really awesome, and kudos to Sinisa Spasujevich from Serbia for putting that together. But other than that, I read what's going on in the Quantum Alpha Club, of course. Matt Case and Wonder updating like what's going on. But tell me, what kind of drama did I miss this week? What happened over the last week?
We were waiting for. I want to wait for Anton. He should be on soon. But one thing that I kind of really want to focus on is, in terms of drama, is a tweet that Vitalik Buterin actually put out, and I'm going to share it right this moment. And
I don't know if there is a bigger drama than the Pavel Durov situation.
Pavel Durov, that's a big drama.
Fill me in. What happened to Durov? Is he still in jail?
Apparently, he's still being investigated in France. I have to get back on the latest, but I have a couple of tweets that I'd be happy to post. First of all, if you do want to get into the lessons learned,
I want to get your take on Telegram first, Mati. What do you think of?
Okay.
That's a beauty. You deserve that. For getting your family off a mountain, you deserve an Isle of Malt.
You have no idea.
I got smoky action straight to the mouth.
My daughter got injured. She got 10 stitches.
Wow, what happened?
I had one car broke down. One golf cart broke down.
Oh,
my daughter crashed an ATV. Yeah, so night at the hospital, that was fun. Yeah, but Baruch Hashem, everything's okay. We're gonna get through it. Trailblaze. Do we count Trailblaze as a human or a bot? I'm not really sure at this point.
Trailblaze, make a comment.
Trailblaze made a comment. He said, "GM guys, Yalla Bitcoin."
Prove to us that you're human.
There's a human behind that. Hey, Anton is here.
Is it human or a bot master?
Speaking
of
what's
human,
up,
the
legendary
Anton?
human is here.
Welcome to the party.
Hi guys. Hi everyone.
Hey Anton, how are you, sir?
Doing very well. Glad to see you all, and greetings from fuming Dubai. So I was just outside. Feels like a Sahara on steroids.
Yes. You get an active sauna. We know the vibe. Hernan's dressing the part of the Tel Avivi.
I'm here in Netanya. It's also pretty hot, but I don't think it's Dubai hot.
No, nothing is Dubai hot.
And then Mati just got off a mountain, so he was telling us about that before you joined. But we joined from Mati. He was stranded in a beautiful mountain with his family for a week plus, and obviously had lower internet access, so he missed out on the play-by-play of crypto Twitter drama and everything else going on. He was away with his family, so let's catch Mati up. What are our take from the last week? We'll hear from Anton. We'll hear from Hernan, our two guests. Introduce yourselves and catch Mati up. Give him a little rundown of things that he missed that he should be aware of from the last week.
You want to go first, Anton, or should I?
Go ahead.
Yeah, before that, Tal Shmuel Harel says, generic bot comment. You've got to put these things up on the screen, dude. You're falling down on your job.
Yeah.
Good morning.
It made me laugh out loud. I needed that. Thank you.
So, if I post a tweet, should I post it as a comment here or?
I can share it for you.
In the StreamYard.
You can. Yeah, we can definitely share that. That's a good way of.
UBI UBI will never work because of the bots. I promise you. As soon as the government says, "Hey, we're going to give out $25 free for everybody," there's going to be 1 million Bangladeshis out there claiming it 10 times each.
Let me correct that. UBI will not work until real proof human verification and ID works.
Yeah, no, Hernan, I promise you, I've seen it happen. I worked on Woobits, on Lunar Crush, and now Quora. They will come out with real verification real human verification for 10 of their cousins, 20 of them if they have to. Believe me, there's no shortage of real humans in the world that they can verify.
I remember in South Africa, like when we wanted to get into the clubs, like at 14, 15, we we would make like these fake IDs, and the level of like skill that you needed to pass the bouncer got harder and harder as the years went by. So by the time my brother was there, you needed a proper like ultraviolet light and whatever. But it's very if there's a will, there's a way. There was always a crafty guy in school who knew how to manufacture these fake IDs on the go. You'd pay him a couple of rands and you're good to go for the next party. So, I think UBI it's an interesting question. It begs the question of like, what's going to happen to humans, like the relevance of humans in the age of AI abundance. But that is probably for the
You're supposed to
end
put
of
the
show.
comment on the screen again, Dudu. You got to put the comment. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we've been
put
talking
it
about
on
it for
and
5 minutes.
Because we've been like we've kind of got sidetracked a bit, so we'll start with her.
I like giving you a hard time. So
and,
Durov, what is he under
I got
suspicion
the
of?
I
What
got
was
the official charges on Durov.
investigation? Yeah, tell me about that.
You want to give me want me to give the intro?
Yeah. Tell us.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Hernan. Hi, I'm a friend of Mati's. I'm a part of quantum economics team and leading the quantum consulting branch of that. I'm a friend with Dudu. I've become to love him as he's building his community. And I just get to meet Anton. I'm the founder of Soundwork, which is a music Web3 platform. And I'm also doing Arber Tech, which is kind of my consulting company, which is now taking less focus because I'm super focused on quantum consulting. Now, Pavel Durov situation. I'm gonna post right now the official charges. Okay, what happened is that as he landed in France, he was traveling somewhere. I think it was he was traveling somewhere, and then he landed in France, and he got arrested for the official rumor was that he was arrested for failing to comply with some restrictions and enabling drug trafficking and some illegal speech within Telegram, right? His app. Immediately afterwards, we saw on the day that the token took a 16% dump from around $6.75 to around $5. That's when every other token was actually pumping. So the calculated drop in total market cap was around $2 billion, just so you understand the damage in terms of token value lost. Now, here are the official charges that have been dropped on Pavel. He's facing up to 20 years in prison. The complicity is webmastering an online platform in order to enable an illegal transaction in organized group. The other charge is refusal to communicate at the request of the competent authorities, information of documents necessary for carrying out and operating interceptions allowed by law. Meaning,
do you want to read us SPF's indictment as well?
No. Anyway, so basically what they want from this guy is that they want to censor the speech on the platform. They want him to comply with providing the user data that they are deeming like necessary by law. And there's all sorts of things going on in Telegram, pornography, and a lot of people in Israel know it as Telegraph because all they do with Telegram is just buy and sell weed.
Just don't buy and sell weed for Bitcoin. I made that mistake when the price was like,
no,
6,000,
you're the
5,000.
for weed.
Wow, that price and the weed price and the Bitcoin went down and the Bitcoin price went up. So like, if you're pricing stats in grams, here in Israel, like
that's literally the worst way of smoking.
Yeah, like one Bitcoin used to buy you like an eighth of weed, really.
Yeah.
Worst way of smoking, literally smoking away your Bitcoin, guys. Don't do that.
No, you live and learn. But that's, I think, for me, the Telegram story, it goes to show how important what we're building, and it's a good segue. We'll go to my next topic.
So basically, they want access to our data They want access to.
They want a backdoor. They want to. I don't think Emmanuel Macron.
They want a
cares what
backdoor.
we're-
Okay, this is one of the points. Says providing cryptology services aiming to ensure confidentiality without certified declaration. So let me translate that to layman's terms. Basically, if you do encrypted end-to-end conversations, you're, according to this law, you're violating this French law, right? Because you're encrypting that conversation. And until now, we didn't know that that was an actual violation of the law. But if it is, we're screwed. Like there's no way to have a private
WhatsApp is
conversation.
supposedly encrypted as well. So everybody is in violation of this law, apparently.
So maybe WhatsApp is not that truly encrypted.
Well, it gave me whenever
that's
you open a new message in WhatsApp, it does say that there's end-to-end encryption. So
the point isn't whether it's
are they lying or
point
is it just
the point is
WhatsApp
whether or
bad?
not they're collaborating with the government. So Mark Zuckerberg just dropped a letter today that he was talking about how he actively censored the Hunter Biden laptop story before the elections in 2020, and that kind of cost Trump the election. And he's showing that he's also kind of a little bit less hectic than Elon and Pavel on the free speech side, but everyone's starting to realize that government, they need access, they need a backdoor, they need a way to crack it. And don't forget also that encryption was weapons grade technology until maybe I think the 70s or the 80s. Like always, you couldn't sell encryption software to foreign governments or like hostile nations, or was treated as weapons or was regulated as such. And that's kind of how powerful these free speech technologies are. But when we build them, we have to build them without a single source of failure. Like don't expect the government's benevolence to save you, and don't expect that suddenly all the technocrats in Brussels and in Washington are suddenly going to become free speech maximalists. They if they can come after you, they will, which is why Satoshi running away was the biggest blessing he ever gave us, because there's no try shut down Bitcoin. Let's go. Like try give it a shot. Anton, good morning to you. How are you? What's your take on Mr. Pavel and his arrest, or any other stories that you've been tracking this week?
I'm losing you. I think I'm a little bit disconnected.
There, you fully connected.
To the chat here, to the story. Oh, we lost him.
Yeah, he'll come back. But that's my take on the Pavel story.
You guys remember a number of years ago there was a Islamic terrorist in the United States, and the U.S. government was pushing Apple to release their encryption software to create a backdoor so that they could see what was on the guy's phone. And I just remember Tim Cook coming out going, "No, we're not doing that. That's just going to weaken the entire system, and we're never going to have real encryption again."
Well, because it also sets a precedent.
The U.S. government did not press charges against Tim Cook. I guess there's a political aspect to this. Pavel Durov is not loved by anybody important in government anyways, and therefore going after him is a lot easier than it would be to go against the head of Apple or something like that. But it is kind of strange that there's this kind of like double standard happening where Apple's allowed to say, no, our users' privacy is important, whereas Telegram is not. And I wonder why that is, and where the line is drawn and why. Yeah,
no, that is certainly something that is concerning all of us. Now, I posted this the same post that I commented here below on LinkedIn, and then I just to play devil's advocate.
Trailblaze is giving us bot comments. This is awesome. Good job, guys.
Well, it's not bot. People who say nice.
Awesome.
Some people don't have
bot comments. Generic bot comment. Tal called it.
Thank you, AI, for making us not feel alone.
They're just saying nice.
Anyway, so I got challenged on that, by a friend on LinkedIn that told me, listen, Hernan, you might not know the whole story, right? Because what he claims, and this is not confirmed, okay, but I just want to play devil's advocate and give you the other side of the story, right? What he claims is that Durov cooperates with Russia by suppressing various Telegram channels, so free speech is not really there. So before we jump to conclusions about the wall culture or whatever, it's reasonable to check what the actual details are. So essentially what his claim is, and I'm not confirming this, but his claim is that Durov is actually providing that information and cooperating with the Russian government to censor some channels and provide information from Telegram.
What?
Which I severely doubt.
It's a ridiculous claim. Durov is against the Russian government. We all remember when the Russian government tried to shut down Telegram, and they couldn't do it, and the people were throwing the paper airplanes out the window as a protest. We all remember that. Come on. So, like,
I agree.
The claim that Durov is in cahoots with Putin is just like, what?
I remember he also left the country because he would not give the user data to the Russian government. Now, if you kind of think of it thoroughly, the Russian government is not a type of government that says, "Oh, you're not giving us the data? Okay, that's too bad. You probably should leave the country." No, it's like you're over, like you're done. So maybe there is some secret that we don't know that eventually he did get to some kind of agreement in order to allow them not only to operate Telegram, but also to keep his life.
Interesting.
Let's kind of move from the conspiracy.
Nice.
Nice. Let's turn from the conspiracy to a little bit of more substantial things, and that is Anton's still having issues. So we got Mati, we lost Anton. We make trade-offs. We live with them. We move forward. So let's get into the main event, and that's the fail stories. Before we talk a little bit more about what's happening right now in the market with Bitcoin and DeFi and Ethereum and all that. But a fail story. I think we can each share like some fail stories that we know that happened to us, that we were in the vicinity of, and try and learn from those and grow from those, because a lot of people, they only hear this survivor bias where only the good stories are told, only the successes are shown. You see a little highlight reel of other people's lives, and you don't hear that the struggles and the ups and downs that you go through. So let's share some of those. It's a safe space. Obviously, nothing, no PII and no wallet addresses will be shared in this video, but very generic comments about industry and trends. So maybe we'll start with you, Hernan, Mati, myself, and Anton will get back on. We are praying for you, Anton, that your Wi-Fi over there. I was meant to have like 6G.
What prayer do you say for Wi-Fi, for a good Wi-Fi? I mean,
what prayer do you say for good Wi-Fi? That's a good one.
Is there a prayer for that?
What prayer do you say on your first cigarette?
Would that be a Psalm 20 type of situation?
Your first cigarette, no, there's a joke. What blessing do you say on your first cigarette? You don't say any blessing because it's in the toilet, and you can't say a blessing in the toilet. So that's the one about the first cigarette. But we'll get to first cigarettes later. And we'll hear from Hernan, and then Mati, and then myself, and Anton coming soon.
So I just posted like some of the top lessons learned on my journey in crypto, and you can check out that comment. It has all the typicals like don't chase green candles, don't FOMO, always like keep stacking, let your winner ride. But I want to start by the most painful lessons learned on a personal way, because if we are in a safe space, as you say, Dudu, I want to I don't think I've specifically maybe I've mentioned this already. I think in the Yitzi's podcast, but my personal one of the most painful lessons for me was the lesson number 7, if you see in the page, which is
I'm
do
trying to
not.
look for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I'm trying to
lesson
look
is
for you.
do not marry your coins, and I see a lot of people doing that right now. People are just going with grabbing a specific token or a project that they go just all in, and they just become kind of this known leader within the community and just mega posting all day. That can serve you very well by building some hype, allowing the project to grow, but understand that this is an investment. The lesson I had to learn there was, and I think most people know that, is with my experience with EOS, right? I was researching into EOS, obviously made an investment back then in 2017, and that brought me into the very deep rabbit hole, which was finding out where was the communities. And I saw this EOS New York and EOS Korea and EOS Brazil, EOS Rio popping up, and I said, well, let's check out what the EOS Israel guys are doing. There was no EOS Israel, so I told myself, oh well, if there is none, I will make it. So I founded EOS Israel. I created the community. Since then, I started doing events, building, bringing people to build on EOS, and really growing the ecosystem from a local to a world perspective. We became one of the best known kind of community outlets for EOS. And then I think what I missed are some the red flags that I refuse to see because I kind of married the coin. So, for example, I give you some very clear top signals, right? When Block 1 June happened, that was a big event from Block 1 that we all got very excited, and they announced voice.com. They promised $1 billion that would be invested in the ecosystem. So when we started seeing that that's not happening, that would be red flag number 1, right? When Dan Larimer, the CTO, left Block 1, Dan Larimer was a creator of EOS. That would be another red flag that was pretty obvious, and you could have seen that. And there are a lot of also influencers within the space that said, okay, I think I've had enough. This is not going anywhere, and they kind of jumped the ship. And I was part of the you're just cheats. You're gonna regret this. Things are going back to all-time high and beyond. And I drank the full Kool-Aid, as you see. So that was a lesson that was not only painful in terms of effort, economical pain, but that was also 5 years of my life that I spent trying to grow that ecosystem. And my last attempt was the last bull run, creating a launchpad called EOS Starter. We did gather the whole community with the biggest NFT sale. And although it was very exciting and I learned a lot, and I have a very good connections from the community, I think the lesson learned is that you need to know when to let go. And I don't know if that resonates with you guys, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I met you in the EOS ecosystem, and for me, the red flag was Chinese collusion of the BPs. Like, EOS had a delegated proof of stake system, right? And we were Liquid EOS at the time was a Israeli block producer. They, we actually made it to number 1 at this time, spun off by Bancor. And part of the way that it worked on EOS is you have the block, the EOS token holders would delegate their stake instead of staking themselves, and then vote in 21 BPs. But instead of being able to delegate your coins and vote for one validator, like it happens in many other ecosystems out there, EOS allowed you to vote, I think, for 30 validators with one token. So what that created is these kind of backroom deals and collusion between the BPs, and a lot of the BPs, like, you know, one entity would spin up 3 BPs and they would all vote for each other.
The socket puppets.
Yeah, and it was just and everyone said, and the crazy thing is that people went to Dan Larimer, people, you know, from the Israeli ecosystem, and they told him, listen, delegated proof of stake in the way that you're doing it with 30 is going to lead to collusion. That's the way it's going to happen. So when there was no option to like change that, one token, one vote was simple. Like, it should have been done from day one. But besides for that, like, I think, you know, and knowing when to leave is critical. And for me, like, again, like, the only way you can really build something in this industry is if you have conviction. If you're swaying from trend to trend every 2 minutes, like, you're not going to catch anything. So, you know, kudos to you for having that conviction, even if it was a second too late, because most people err on the other side. They err on the side of having no conviction, and then they're never in anything long enough to see a real sustained rise. But for me, it's learning about, like, you know, go where the market is hot. Like, at the time, EOS was hot, and it was, you know, it was built, and there was no incentive for Block One to move things along, to invest some of that 4 billion. Block One on the top 10 list of Bitcoin holders, with MicroStrategy and BlackRock and the US government. Block One are on there. Which other, you know, the Solana Foundation isn't on there. You know, Block One are on there because they, you know, I call EOS the biggest exit scam of all time, and the Bitcoin exit scam of all time, and that's what it was. And that's why I think in this cycle, right, my last word is, like, in this cycle, like, you know, I'm not looking for, EOS was going to be an Ethereum killer, and I'm not looking for the 4th or the 5th.
And I think Solana, I think giving that, Solana absorbed a lot of those lessons. If you see the whole Solana run, they have never branded themselves as the Ethereum killer. You won't hear that from the Solana community. And that's strategic, because that they learned about from EOS a lot of things that you should not do, right? And of course, I think that's how our industry is building, right? Those failures are not into the void. I think the large failures, I think they build on top of it. I think the fall of Luna, you know, taught a big lesson to a lot of us about algorithmic stablecoins, right? We'll be doing further.
The only thing we learned from Terra Luna, I think there was a lot more underneath the surface there.
Well, yes, a lot, and we learned a lot from FTX as well, right?
Oh, yeah, big time. I remember, I mean, if we're already harping on EOS, EOS was actually one of the first coins that I ever researched, like a thorough research paper. Back in eToro, I put out a 10-page research paper as the senior market analyst there. And it was never too interesting for me. I remember writing about it as the ICO, actually, when I was doing the research. It hadn't even launched yet. And I just, like, kept thinking to myself, like, kind of, what's the value proposition here? And it was just too murky and not extremely clear. I remember kind of saying to myself, well, if I had some equity in this company, maybe that would make more sense. But the token itself, I didn't really see as, you know, because I just remember, you know, XRP and people thinking that XRP was actually, like, you know, stock in Ripple or something like that, and having to explain to them, hey, no, it's not. So I felt like the better play would have been buying equity, which, you know, clearly Magic Mike figured out and was able to cash out on big time at the peak. But yeah, I admire you having that conviction and going down that road, because, you know, even if it's a 1 in 10 chance, that kind of dedication, you know, had it hit, that would have paid off really big time for you. So it's a good calculated risk to take, especially, and I don't know what the situation was with you, that, you know, at least that you had some sort of form of compensation during that time frame, that would make the whole thing a lot, like, extremely worthwhile.
I was never compensated for my work on EOS Israel doing the community, but arguably, right? Well, because I launched the voice.com kind of launch party in Israel, I contacted the CEO back then, Salah, and that led to a very good work as director of mobile at Voice, which did become kind of a highlight on my kind of the engineering mobile development career. So arguably, that did lead to good paid gigs, and I also got to work with amazing teams like Kyber Network and Equilibrium as kind of a consultant and advisor on that connecting them with the community. So it
Nice.
led to a very, very enriching experience. But
Nice.
all in all, I think it's an important lesson that you kind of need to be, even though you're into this whole, you're really feeling the community vibes, you still have to be aware of the red signals, right, when things are happening. And I think that's a balance that it's hard to navigate.
Absolutely. Nice. GM, good luck. Nice video. GM, good luck. Nice. They literally bought our video.
What about
Cheers to that,
Moon?
guys. Literally.
They're
Literally
not bots.
botting
They're
the
just
video.
people from countries that otherwise would not have come across a few Israeli dudes talking crypto. But
Seriously,
they're real
they're
people.
just people who are willing to work for $5 a week.
But that's the future. You talk about UBI. That's the UBI. Like in many countries,
this is distribution of wealth, where our BS conversation seeking an audience of way more than we previously had, where we're just very happy to have more audience than panelists, has met somebody who knows how to work it and has indeed worked it for pennies on the dollar. So cheers to everybody watching. Our view count has gone through the roof. I think this is more than we've ever had in a live stream. So big l'chaim
cheers
to you
that.
guys.
A big cheers to that. And I hope you take something from that. If you're listening for even a second, I hope you're taking, and it's important. It's not just a distribution of wealth. We have, interesting things to say. Many of these people, like, we'll see meme coins and altcoins and people shilling them nonsense. For me, that's my mission in this whole thing. Like, I know that,
well, if you came here to bot and you learned something new, let us know. That'd be pretty interesting to me.
Just drop.
If you're a learning bot, let us know what you learned.
I think I'm even going to do something like I'll add another $3 to whoever comment something cool that they learned in the thing in the
there you
chat.
Go. Airdrop
Airdrop
alert incoming. Is there a cap on that, dude? You better put a cap on that because you're gonna have 500 of them.
So, guys, I want to know your take on what's been going on. It's a mini trend, right? It's happening for the last couple of weeks, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but there is a growing trend of meme coins on Tron. Have you guys become aware of this?
It's just a flash in the pan. I'm not even. But I'm focusing on.
Meme coins. What happened to meme coins on base? That's so last week, right?
Exactly. So I'm kind of noticing a part.
How many millions did Justin's son pay for this?
Exactly. So that's what I want to get into.
If Justin's son can pay for shit, then so can I.
I love Justin's son, by the way. If I ever meet him, I'm gonna give him a big fucking hug for all the shit that I've talked about him. I mean, that dude is really, really awesome, dedicated.
I think he's done one of the top 5 for crypto adoption, in the world.
I want to
absolutely. No, that guy is awesome. Like, literally, I wish I could give him a hug.
No, yes, and I think what it's admirable about Justin is that he's here. He's not leaving. He's like the DiCaprio character on The Wolf of Wall Street, which is, I'm not fucking leaving, and he's been here all the way. So anyway, what I did want to mention is that, like, a couple of weeks or a week or 2 weeks ago, I started reading some posts that there's this big meme coin trend, like the new meme coin trends are now moving to Tron. So that struck me odd because and then I saw one influencer, so I think it was Crypto God John, and then another influencer, and then another influencer, and the culmination when I really start going like this is when Ran Neuer, he's runs Crypto Banter. You all got all.
Junior.
So Ran posted a tweet about meme coins on Tron, and he made a full interview with Justin Sun on his Crypto Banter channel.
So he probably paid around 50 to 100K for that. That's my guess on what Ron is charging these days for such a.
I think it's much more, Mati, because maybe that's
more than that.
Maybe that's what he paid only to Banter. But what I'm saying is,
do you have other channels that promoted it at the same time?
No, I'm saying there's a network, like there's a very integrated kind of KOL cabal or crypto influencer network.
It's not as clandestine as you'd think. I mean, if you just go up to Crypto Banter, and ask them for their pricing, I'm sure they give it to you.
You're talking about one outlet. What I'm telling you is that I saw like 9 or 10 independent influencers, not related to Crypto Banter, posting about meme coins on Tron, kind of in sync, one day after another, a couple of hours difference.
That the truth is, you can't really know what's organic, what's paid. Most of things is paid, and the paid stuff, there isn't one price fits all. Like people are, there's people. I saw the other day, someone forwarded me a message from a marketing KOL kind of agency that were reselling spaces that I had just been on, like a spaces host that I just paid to be on. And some people don't pay for spaces, but I think that's probably one of the best ROI spends right now in crypto. And people were reselling spaces for 4x the price. Like you get a price with the host, and then you go to find a client and you resell
selling your space.
4x the place. Reselling.
There's a market. There's a secondary market. Yeah.
Let's say a space costs let's say I can go to the host. I was going to the host a week before, and I said, how much for a space? He say $1,200, $1,500. People, I got a message from an agency that tried to resell me the space for 3x. And then on the other side, I remember we tried to get when I was at a different company, we tried to get a round table with Mario Nofel. They quoted us 60K for a round table, and then we went to an agency that we were talking to, one video, and then we went to an agency that we were looking
because there's going to be 5,000 bots there, and maybe 50,000 bots.
So I don't know what the ROI on a like once off 60K, I don't think you're going to get good ROI. But then we went to an agency and they gave us a price for the same like slot at 50% cheaper because they had an in with the team or
IBC
whatever.
does token deals as well. Like if they like the project, they oftentimes
they want to get a chunk of token as well.
Yeah.
But I think giving KOLs tokens is a very very very, very like a risky endeavor. Like you need to find the right KOLs that will kind of work with you to promote. And
I've given KOLs equity, specifically in quantum expeditions, and I can say, hands down, it's worked. Every single KOL that we gave equity to has performed phenomenally and been well worth it. So, and the equity we gave them is quite a chunk, but literally they've done their research and understood what we're about before they ever came to the table. Before I even got on the phone with them, they understand who we are, what we're doing. I understand that they understand, and that's how we were able to sign those type of deals, because we had great people introducing and great people like kind of facilitating those meetings and making sure that those introductions go smoothly. And we chose, because Quantum Expeditions, a Bitcoin mining venture, specifically KOLs who understand about Bitcoin mining and are into passive income and understand the world of private equity and those type of things. So they were all extremely interested in the prospect. So that obviously that we're docs and that we're a profitable company, I mean, it helped us close those deals. But I can say that equity for promotion as far as KOL is concerned on Quantum Expedition has been by far our biggest marketing channel and success.
Yeah.
Interesting. So do you think there's a difference between giving them equity and giving them tokens? Do you think there's a difference over there? I think equity, maybe because it's not liquid, they would, they're working for their bags because it's not vested yet, and they can't dump it at, they have to.
It was by design. I really, because I had approached several KOLs who I felt like kind of good friends with, and they kind of weren't interested. And I also remember speaking with our board of directors about it in advance and our marketing team, and explaining that, look, I want people who believe in what we're doing. And that was it. And that was my litmus test. If they're willing to take equity, literally it means that they believe in what we're doing.
Yeah.
So yes, there's definitely a difference between that and somebody who says, look, give me a liquid token. I don't, not necessarily, no promises whether I'm going to hold it or not. And I do feel that for Quora, when we're doing the pre-sale pretty soon, and certainly we're going to need some promotion, I feel like that is something that we would only do on a long vesting, as far as KOL for tokens deals. And that would be that kind of kicker that ensures that they understand, they know where we're going, they believe in what we're trying to build, know where that we're trying to get there, and know how, and help us also. That's the other big part of it. They're advisors. They're not just mouthpieces. I can say that everybody on QEX, all of our advisors and KOLs, that they're worth their weight in gold, even without the promotion, right? Without the promotional aspect, and assisting us on the mining side and structure and all of those type of things, and giving us really good sage advice. So I can say that, yeah, I think that if you're just giving out straight up tokens that are liquid on the market, you're not going to get the same service, because that's the same as giving cash, right? And giving cash, as you know, just as you just mentioned, like,
not only
is a
cash,
hit and a miss.
You're affecting your token directly, right? It's bringing on selling pressure to your project.
Correct.
So I think crypto's always been a bit of a pay for play in terms of marketing, right? But I think with the meme coin explosion, guys, I think things have tilted, because until from when I got into the space, the promise was always about the technological innovation and things that are kind of that we're building here that are going to change the way that kind of society works and how we do things. And now it's it was kind of always a type of pay to play, and it was also always an attention market, right? But there was, at least we tried to have this fundamental technological narrative behind it. And I think with meme coins, that was kind of all thrown away, and there was all, listen, this is all about the attention. Anyone can launch a meme coin about with $50 and just a few minutes time, but that's all about the attention game. So I want to ask you guys, where do you think the balance is at now, and if it's truly all about attention, or are we actually building something here?
Look, I think in I want to go a couple levels higher, because we're towards the end of the show and we've spent way too much time talking about Tron meme coins and not enough time talking about fixing the money, fixing the world, getting the world ready for hyper Bitcoinization, bringing back a hard money standard, and kind of doing away with this debt riddled sick society that we have. Like we had I thought Trump would get a much bigger bump, but we had RFK endorsing Trump over the weekend, and they resolve to make America healthy again. And you can see the effect. You can see like after 1971, you can see just like the increase of, you know, all the other economic factors aside, just on the health side, like how obesity and deaths of despair and, you know, ill health and all these seed oils have just kind of taken over from, you know, because fake money comes together with fake food and fake everything. And, you know, that's how important coming back onto the Bitcoin standard is. And, you know, I think for me, like, that's the first thing we're building. Like, you know, at the end of our career, no one, you know, we're gonna hopefully have enough money to retire on, to retire our kids on. But, you know, what we're gonna ask ourselves is, how many people did our orange pull in time? Like, how many people that, you know, got Bitcoin, got it into self custody, got themselves off, you know, the fiat, the borrow and spend mentality of fiat, and started, people try, you know, cry to me like I'm broke ass, I don't have any money to invest in Bitcoin. You have, you know, a little bit of money to put aside, even if it's like, that's the thing, 0.001. Like, I have a little cousin that invested in Bitcoin with $50, $50. But the only problem is he's trading at 20x on Binance, 19. He's like, show me Binance 20x leverage. I'm like, boy, get yourself cold stored stats yesterday and then come and show me your 20x leverage. Oh my god, that was hilarious. But that's, I think, our legacy, and everything else. The attention game is short term. It's in order to, you know, I think there's still room for the culture economy and developing cool things on chain. And together with those two things together, you know, you need to know how to grasp attention. And that's where, you know, you'll make your fiat from. That's where you make your revenue from. That's where that's what our professions are in. But at the end of the day, like, you know, I think what everyone in the space should be hoping to achieve is, you know, building the technologies and educating people to a reality where something like a Telegram censorship couldn't happen. You know, whether it's in money, whether it's in tech, and taking crypto back to its origins. Crypto used to mean cryptography. It used to mean encrypted chat. It used to mean privacy by design, cypherpunk ideals. And now it just means, you know, Gibcoin, when meme. And taking crypto back to its, you know, and that's kind of like what the kind of projects we should be building and supporting, and not, you know, the same copy-paste projects and whatever. We should be, you know, focusing on, and that will happen. Like, you know, you'll start to see how many people downloaded Nostr after Telegram founder got arrested. People are starting to realize that there's a necessity in decentralizing, because the globalists, the Klaus Schwab, the Macrons of the world, they want to censor your speech. They want to censor what you eat, what you say, how you spend, and that all needs to kind of confine to the party ideals of woke and, you know, and climate. And if you want to resist that, you need the technologies to resist that. You need to build tech to resist that, and that's what we're doing here. That, at least that's what we should be doing here. And everything else is just lights and colors to distract us from the mission.
Cheers to that.
Very well said, man. Yes.
What do you think, Mati? Are we straying from our path, or are we, to, you know, is attention everything, or is there something more to what we're doing here?
Well, I mean, I think that what we're doing is I don't want to, you know, at the moment, I just want to try and bring it down to earth. I think that we have a real chance to make a positive impact in the world. And there are all kind of people who have made positive impacts in the world. I think Pavel Durov is one of them. And we have a chance to stand up for what's right and say, hey, this is how I feel that the future should play out, and to dedicate, you know, our lives to kind of in the way that we know how to push that forward. So I think that, yes, it's absolutely worthwhile and important that we do it. Will it be like monumental? Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, right?
Oh yeah, let's we got couple minutes left, so I want to get your take on. I was going to ask Anton this because he's from the real world asset, but let's play a game of shag, marry.
Yeah, Anton totally deserted us, man. What the heck?
Anton's coming on next week. He just moved into a
Okay.
apartment in Dubai, so he's going to sort his internet out, and he's going to join us next week for
right
a
on.
special episode.
He was on before, wasn't he? I kind of recognized him. Was he'd been on with us before?
He was on with Alex, yeah. But Anton is someone like you want to have him on often because he's he gets it. He catches the drift.
Yeah.
And we actually next week we'll talk about it more because I actually didn't get to that, but maybe it's better because that was Anton's game. But basically I was talking about the tweet from Vitalik Buterin, and we'll kind of promo next week, and we'll end with that. I'll just get your take on that, Hernan, as well. So Vitalik, we're talking about fail stories and what we did wrong and whatever. And it seems like Vitalik has some doubts and some regrets of his own, right? So Vitalik was talking about DeFi applications, and someone was asking about DeFi, and he said right. So this worries me because it feels like an Ouroboros. An Ouroboros is a snake that keeps eating itself. The value of crypto tokens is that you can use them to earn yield, which is paid for by people trading crypto tokens. So Vitalik over here is describing Ponzi-nomic, right? The whole framework of how if you don't know where the yield coming from, you're the yield, and how essentially the entire DeFi space is just a leverage play on ETH. And if that's the case, then he isn't really that happy with the DeFi, and a lot of people were giving him shit online, like ETH BTC is down, ETH Sol is down. Like, why can't you just bull post like a normal human being, Vitalik? But this is his thoughts, and I think that at least personally, I share those thoughts. I know a lot of other people share those feelings that DeFi, in 2022, the protocols came out, and we saw what's possible with staking, with rebasing tokens, with farming. We saw the potential of what DeFi could be, but then it just ended up being a circle jerk of leverage and synthetic tokens. And I've been an advocate for a while now of real assets and real productivity gains that should result from DeFi. People should take loans to start businesses. They don't do that now. People should take loans to buy houses, mortgages on chain. The yield should come from dividends that companies pay. So there are sustainable sources of yield in the real world that can be ported to DeFi. So what do you guys think? We'll talk about it next week with when Anton comes back. But what do you guys think of what Vitalik said about DeFi being sort of an Ouroboros is a very essentially highbrow Greek philosophy way of saying circle jerk. But that's essentially what it is.
Well, I think the most important thing here, Dudu, is to make a very clear distinction between yield and leverage, right? Because there is a very strong proposal in DeFi that because of the efficiency and the not needing the middleman and all this the administration that comes into creating some kind of productive yield that can build the regular market or inflation, that there is a very logical and real chance of getting a real yield that is above inflation, above what a regular market perform. But we're talking about this 6, 7, up to 10% yield, right? When you add the leverage and the amount of action that's happening in the space, when people are seeing that 10% yield compared to that 100x meme coin that just launched, or whatever kind of performance that other type of products are using, I think the gambling aspect of it comes into play, and it's a very slow tipping point, because even take the largest DeFi protocol, Aave, right? People are staking an Aave, getting that yield that DeFi proposes, but what are they doing with with that, they are taking out the loan in the stable coin based on the collateral. What are they doing with the collateral? What are they doing with the loan they took? They're buying more, and then they're staking it out again, and they're using their increased collateral to take another loan, and that's what they're recycling this whole yield operation until you're certainly borrowing to get more yield, and you're exactly getting a margin position of like 10x your holdings. Now that's all fine and well when it goes up, but understand that whenever the market drops 10%, which is nothing in crypto, nothing for Bitcoin. Bitcoin does that on a day, several times a year. Your money's gone, and that's that you get liquidated, and that's a very and that happened to us with, I think, with FTX and Luna on a very, very large scale, like on an industry scale. So we witnessed that. But it's happening to people on a daily basis, on a daily basis when the market dumps and we see all those liquidations. They're not only happening in the centralized exchanges and Binance and all the exchanges, they are happening in this kind of decentralized protocols that otherwise would just provide you a very good store of value.
Yeah, so I want to say that just to answer your question, Dudu, I mean, this is literally what we're looking to build with Cora. I don't think it's happening today. I don't think it's happening tomorrow, but truly self-custody, decentralized finance solutions will eventually replace the big banks and all of those. And yeah, that's I'm gonna leave a bit of what we're building a surprise and save you all some time today, but we'll certainly be happy to get into that as the pre-sale moves forward.
Wait, tell us about, let's end off the show.
Really looking forward to showing you guys
1 second, but what's your give us really this is a nice first bit of alpha. When this pre-sale going down, what can you share about that whole
just get ready. We're not quite there yet. We're finalizing the legal structure at the moment. Once that's it is Cora Technologies is an Israeli entity at the moment. And we're just working on our SPV so we can get the token sale launched. Should be 2-3 weeks out at the moment, but you can go to Cora.finance and read all about it. The mobile app will have some early looks within the next few weeks anyways. Our dev is really awesome. I'm gonna try and have him on one day. He's South African. You're gonna love him.
Let's get it, set it up.
But for now,
I'm going to Cape Town as well. I want to meet this guy.
Oh, you're going to Cape Town? Good. So you'll meet our CEO and our CTO. Definitely, they're both over there in Cape Town. But I want to say cheers to all the bots. This is by far the biggest numbers we've ever seen on this show. So thank you to whoever's pulling those strings. And
4,100
remember,
views.
Unlimited airdrop, $3. If you can say what you've learned, then you message Dudu Azarov your wallet address. He's going to give $3. There's no cap. He never mentioned a cap. So $3 to anybody who says what they learned today.
Yeah, and I'm also making a huge giveaway, announcing it very live for our audience. And if you send me 1 Bitcoin, I'll send you 2 back.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that. We're just fucking with you guys. But we should start giving away some things on the show that would make it exciting for the crew. Maybe we have a sponsors giveaway. Before we go, I want to shout out our sponsors, DLT Law, for coming out, for showing up. DLT Law is your premier destination for all things legal and consulting on whether you're a new project, NFTs, DeFi, whether you're a veteran in the space, an individual looking for some guidance, check out DLT Law, give it a shot. And thank you everyone for joining, and we will see you next week.
Yalla.
Thank you guys. Thanks, Dudu, for the invite.